And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, where we get your podcast, plus also as well Inside Sports, Fantasy Football. We cover the world of fantasy football in the NFL like no one else, so go ahead and check out on this week's episode Magic Man Sean Grice, Chris Ardieri, and even Joe Soro makes an appearance on this week's Inside Sports Fantasy Football. Also, as well, speaking of Joe Soro, he'll be on later tonight. Go ahead and check out what he's doing at LakersBall.com. And of course, he owns a company that you need to support today, Symbolates. Symbolates with a Y.com. And speaking of supporting, not only can you get the great merchandise like Sean has on in our awesome, awesome store that you can go ahead and check out. I will go ahead and put it in the description right here in just a matter of seconds. Go ahead and stop on by the LFB merchandise store. What a great holiday gift. Isn't that right, Sean? Look at Sean. Look, we're going to make you the model. You know how they have those stock models? You go to T Public or whatever, they have those stock models that are just like this, and then they Photoshop the t-shirt on them for whatever different type of style that you're going to. The hell with that. We've got our own fashion model right there. Right there. There he is. And if you want some of that cool merchandise, go ahead and stop by the Lakers Fast Break merchandise store today, right there for you. It's all waiting for you, all waiting to start. You actually, even if you still order now, you will get it. Well, we hope you get it before the end of the holidays. I'm not going to guarantee anything yet because, Joe's kind of helping out with that. So when it concerns Joe, don't do any guarantees, but it's looking good. Great stuff right there. I've got the, hat and hoodie too, but his is hat and hoodie is better right there for you at Lakers Fast Break. Also as well, Magic Mind, magicmind.com. Magic Man has been taking Magic Mind. It's been helping him get a clearer, sharper focus. It's been doing a lot of great things. If you think it may be something that's right for you, go ahead and check out magicmind.com. Lakers 20 is the code you need to go ahead and use upon checkout for the 15 or 30 bottle order. You get 20% off. Hey, what a deal. Black Friday never ends with Lakers 20 at magicmind.com. Plus, also as well, go ahead and check out our good friends, Lakers in 5, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, who was here earlier. So funny because he said yo at about 5 o'clock, at a little bit hour ahead of time. Excitement. I like that. Big shout out to you, John McCalian. And of course, also as well, Empire Jeff TV. Go ahead and check out all those great shows. And speaking of subscribing, please subscribe today. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and like and follow. That way you'll get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break podcast. I don't even say to Twitch, follow us on Twitch. You can follow us on Twitch. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. But I know we've got a lot of heated competition on Twitch. So really, it's hard to beat that, the girl in the bikini and the hot tubs and all that stuff. So it's like, my gosh. They were what we were talking about, Playboys and penthouses last night here on the show. Sex sells, Magic Man. I guess it does. But it is Lakers preview. Yeah, it does. No doubt. It is Lakers preview. But before we go ahead and preview the game, Magic Man, before we went on the air, wanted to go ahead and I touch on some things. Last night's show seemed to touch a lot of nerves one way or the other. And it was a great conversation, regardless of how you feel about how Joe felt, about how I felt, and how Magic Man felt. Because let's put it this way. Magic Man was on one side of the fence. Joe was on the other. I'm in the middle. I can see either way. So it's no big deal to me. We got a lot of flag. We got emails. I got messages. Still got to answer Facebook messages. Greggy, that's out there. I know you said we don't care. Or actually, you said we don't give a blank. That's not true. We do care. We do respond. And I will be responding to you here tonight. So I do appreciate, first off, and thank you for watching. Magic Man, any thoughts on that as far as, because like I said, last night's episode on Bronny and LeBron James obviously touched a nerve with a lot of people one way or the other. And I'll tell you what, that's what needs to get it done. That's the way that shows should be. It creates a lot of conversation back and forth one way or the other.
Yeah, you know what, Gerald? I'm surprised that we got the amount of feedback that we got. Not the kind of feedback, but just the amount of feedback. Good, bad, some indifferent. But I mean, that's what we want. And you're right, Gerald. When we first came on here, Gerald was very, very pleased with the results of yesterday's show, and I must say I am too.
Yeah.
Uh, I thought it was a good topic of conversation. I mean, whether or not you're indifferent about it, the fact of the matter is that this is a big deal to the James family, and I think myself and Gerald, and to a lesser extent, I think Joe and Intel have to acknowledge that as well, Gerald. And it set off a lot of fires. The father in a lot of people is coming out in a lot of these comments. Um, the fan is coming out in a lot of these comments. Um, the begrudging, indifferent jerk is also involved in this conversation. So I mean, it's running the gamut, and I love it. I actually loved it. The more I'm
I Yeah, and people. I know that when we started the episode, people were complaining. I don't know if it was Dante or somebody else that was
think it was Dante, yeah.
complaining about it being clickbaity. You guys do every now and then those clickbaity episodes. They get conversation. That's what they do. That's what the goal is. I'm not saying it isn't clickbaity because it is, because you clicked on it. Now I'm
Mhm.
thanking you for clicking on it. I'm thanking you for watching. I'm thanking you for appreciating. But it did last night. You have to admit, everybody who watched the show last night, everybody who watched us till past, we were on the show for like over 90 minutes, like almost 2 hours long last night. It was a great free flowing conversation, whether we were talking about the NBA, John Morant, but especially on LeBron and Bronny issue back and forth. And it was just, again, it's conversations like those that makes this show we're doing. One way or the other, you're passionate either way, and we salute everyone who's on either end of the fence as far as watching is concerned. Again, I know I got to answer Greggy, who said that it's very hard to watch this podcast or listen to this podcast sometimes because of the way we are. Well, first of all, don't blanket us. Don't put a blanket over us on our opinions. We're not always in agreement 100% of the time. And yesterday is just case in point because Magic Man was on one side and Joe was on the other. So I will answer all the comments I can. I got to catch up on that during the game tonight. Playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Speaking of which, there's a game involved, Magic Man. That's later tonight, coming up here in less than an hour. It is, of course, the Lakers at home at the Crypt against the Rockets. Again, to what everybody is hopefully is glad to hear. And Dante was right at the very last game possible. Rui Hashimura and Jared Vanderbilt will play tonight.
Yeah.
Rui Hashimura is available to play Magic Man. Darvin Ham said the team will be smart about when to reintegrate him into game action, considering he had nasal surgery. I huh? When do you okay? You're playing against players each and every time,
You
so
could
you're
breathe, right?
yeah.
That you could play.
We'll be smart about when to reintegrate him into game action. Is there okay? So you're saying you're going to put him out there at half court at timeout when the Laker girls are out there? Is that when that's safer, technically? Otherwise, if you put him into game action, he's playing against nine other or playing with or against nine other people, human beings, 6 to 7 feet tall. There's a chance he could get hurt. What is there any less of a? Are you looking for a specific type of matchup or player he's going to go against? Oh, he has smaller elbows. It's okay to go ahead and play against him. I don't get that, Magic Man. Do you?
No, Gerald has me buffaloed. Like literally.
Buffalo, herd of buffaloes coming through.
Like, what is that? That's like a stampede of nonsense coming out of that man's mouth there with that kind of logic. Boy,
I
oh
don't
boy.
get it.
I don't either. That's more than a pretzel. I mean, my God, so if he had nasal surgery, the nose is fine, the nasal septum is fine, he could breathe, he could talk, He can run, he could play. I don't understand a minutes restriction there at all. Kobe didn't have a minutes restriction when he was the man in the Iron Mask. Dwayne Wade was the man in the Iron Mask. Jimmy Butler's worn a mask. Why shouldn't Rui be able to wear a mask and play 38 minutes?
It makes absolute. Sometimes I don't, and Mike Trudell as a reporter. Whatever Joe likes to say about it, he will requote pretty much to the T what Ham says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
will.
Blue Magic says, "Do I like the Buffalo slot machines in Vegas? I don't get near those damn things, man. That just that this is your money being sucked up by the slot machines. Okay, that's gone. That money's gone as soon as you put it in there. Just to let you know, that's a clue for people coming into Las Vegas. There, at least blackjack, I have a chance, or sports betting, I have a chance. But it is the Lakers fast break. It is the Lakers preview for tonight's game against the Houston Rockets there at the Crypt. Again, Rui Hashimura, nose guard and all, is in there. I expect more from him with a mask than I do Jared Vanderbilt. Jared Vanderbilt comes in the lineup tonight, and everybody's saying, "Oh, Jared Vanderbilt's been out. That's probably the main reason why we've been hurting so bad. Oh, he's the difference. We're top 3 in the West with Jared Vanderbilt." Well, I'm not expecting much from Jared Vanderbilt right away. 2 weeks down the line, okay, there you go. He'll be back. He'll be acclimated. He'll be used to running up and down with the guys. He'll be more up to the NBA speed and all that. That's fine. Tonight, what are you thinking about? What are you expecting from Jared Vanderbilt tonight? Because I'm not expecting a whole lot.
Me neither. There really isn't an expectation other than hopefully he just gets his sea legs underneath him for the first couple games here, Gerald.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've seen it before. Usually, it takes about 4 to 5 games before somebody really starts to, get the wheels in motion, and you could take the training wheels off and start playing your game. So I'm with you. I don't expect a lot. Like, just ease into it. He doesn't need to go from 0 to 60 right away. Um, got plenty of reinforcements, and Gerald, if I'm not mistaken, Cam Reddish is available tonight.
I have not seen otherwise, but let me go ahead and verify if that's the case.
So
Yes,
that.
he is expected to play according to Mike Trudell. Yes.
So yeah, absolutely. So I mean, Cam's the healthier of the two. I'd expect him to get the lion's share of minutes tonight. Over Vando. We'll see, Gerald. I expect him to come off the bench. Play obviously just again, just get his sea legs underneath them. We're not expecting a whole lot. Just hopefully he's able to just feel like that he's healthy enough to play. Other than that, I'm just hoping him and Rui just get some minutes now. At least get him 20 to 25. I mean, I don't understand either one being on a minutes restriction. To be quite honest with you, I mean, you were out 20 games with bursitis, and now you're ready to play. You should be able to go then.
I'm sure he's done considerable testing with the trainers, et cetera, so that he can at least give you 15 to 20. This 15 to 20 is more realistic in my eyes, Magic Man. I really
Yeah,
think
I
that's
agree,
probably
Joe.
closer to what I think he's going to do.
Yeah, I think you're right. Probably, maybe around maybe 6 to 8 minutes in the first half, and then 6 to 8 in the second. I think you're right, Gerald. That that should be enough to basically see if he's healthy enough to really give it a go, because we're gonna need a little bit more out of him on Tuesday. That's for sure.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is the Magic Man, Sean Grice, with Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Truly appreciate it. Don't forget, Magic Man has been using Magic Mind, magicmind.com. I want to thank them for being our sponsor for the past week of programs. Truly appreciate them for all the help that they've given us as far as it's concerned. Go ahead, if you can, take a look at what they have to offer at magicmind.com as far as a supplement that helps you get clearer focus, does a whole lot of great things, including having honey in it, according to what Magic Man is saying. He's enjoyed the taste of it so far. Hopefully, you will too. give it a look as far as magicmind.com and see if it's something right for you. And if it is, go ahead and use the code Lakers20 for 20% off your order on a 15 or 30 bottle order today. Magic Man, though, again, concerns from last time. They're split down the middle. This, I guess, so far we have a season split so far. One terrible loss on Houston, one win here at home. We're playing back in the Crypt again. They're a terrible team on the road, 0-7 so far. I think we just need to go ahead and get in their minds early that they're not going to win this game. I think we're going to start to see a fall in Houston's record. I think they're a little bit higher up than what they, what their team suggests. So I think if we could go ahead and put them away early, we can go ahead and get LeBron some rest, get Vando some minutes and some burn out there. Maybe even just make sure we got Ruiz to burn out there as well, and hopefully get geared up for Tuesday against Phoenix.
Yeah, absolutely, Gerald. They've really cooled off. They started out 6-3. Basically, they're sliding. They're really sliding at this point. So they're trying to keep their heads above water. Trying to keep pace with the Warriors, who lost today at the very final seconds of a game against the Clippers. Gerald, that the Clippers didn't even hold the lead until the last 10 seconds.
Of course.
Um, but I expect to win tonight. And Gerald, the scoreboard may say 1-1, but Alperen Şengün has gotten the best of Anthony Davis in both contests. And I expect Anthony Davis to play well tonight and to take it upon himself, like take it as a personal challenge that Şengün thinks so highly of Anthony Davis that he tried to outshine him both times, and he did, Gerald. So if I was AD, I would have the exact. Hopefully, it's a different attitude than it was the last game against OKC, where he decided to go at Chet Holmgren for about 5 minutes, and then for the other 38, he decided to ignore him completely. I'd like him to completely assert himself tonight. If Anthony Davis outplays Alperen Şengün, Gerald, the Lakers will win. The Lakers will win tonight.
I agree with you on that. I think that's something that has to happen. The up and down ride. I know Joe doesn't like me when I refer to that as far as the Lakers, and especially when it comes to Anthony Davis, but that's what we've seen so far. It's been an up and down ride, inconsistency at its finest. That's what this team has been. And I think AD and the parallels between the Lakers and Anthony Davis, they're one and the same.
Yes, they are. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Magic Man Sean Grice, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. AD has been getting worked by almost every skilled big in the last year. Do you take Joe's comments there if you want? I mean, you tell me, Magic Man. Do you think it's something that's legit? I think it's very much has some validity to it because it seems like AD can feast on the average or below centers, but when he gets someone to a little bit higher up on the food chain in regards to talent centers, could be a problem. Could be a problem.
Jokic, Embiid, yes, problem, big problem. Um, Joe's, I wouldn't argue with Joe's reasoning there. Um, I'm just even gonna not even give it a slight pushback at this point because he's been completely languid this whole season, and I know that's a big
But
word for
Riddell, Anthony Davis has played against Sengun in the second game, and he's played against Jokic, and he's played against Embiid, and he's played at
Sabonis outplayed him.
yeah. So
That's four right there.
every skilled big this year. Listen to what we're saying. Doesn't matter if he missed the first game. He played in the second game. He's played against Sengun. He got worked. Exactly. Joe's saying he got worked by Sabonis too. And as far as 35 minutes, I'll look up the statement as far as it's concerned. You said give Max Christie, put him out there, let him make mistakes. That's what you said. We're holding you to it, my friend. Sorry, you said it. Let him go out there, let him play, let him make mistakes. That's what you want. That's what you got. All right. But when it comes to what we're seeing with the Lakers, my friend, tonight, obviously the situation is as far as this team, poor shooting team overall. Rebounding has been an issue. But when they get in transition and they can get to the free throw line, like, and they revert back to the way they played last season or late last season, this team can actually go on runs that actually can put teams away, as we've seen.
Yes, they can. They're very capable. Um, the issue is that it's both a consistency and a ham problem. The consistency is that Gerald, other than other than D'Angelo Russell and LeBron James, there's nobody else and create their own shot. So it's not surprising that we have to rely on those two as primary 3-point shooters. And at this point in time, having to rely on LeBron to be a secondary playmaker, secondary primary scorer, and at this point, one of your best 3-point shooters is asinine. It's an indictment on what Joe's been saying. You know that Westbrook trade was a heart wrencher, and it's put a wrench into kind of the elements of this team that need to be corrected. Um, and that's a problem too because even if you stagger LeBron and AD, we know Gerald that the Austin Reeves can be iffy and shaky at best off the bench as a shot creator and playmaker as well. So and Ham is just I mean, he is a ham sandwich when it comes to offense. I mean, its name speaks for itself. Just plain old ham sandwich. No offensive creativity, no ingenuity, no innovation. None of that. It's very plain, and you have to require. And again, as Gerald has mentioned, LeBron and AD have run less than 20 pick and rolls together all year. Well, why don't you just go ahead and run 20 pick and rolls tonight? What's the harm? You've been so efficient at it. I mean, you almost you're in the bottom. You're in the bottom 10% of teams that um, turn the ball over.
Yeah.
You're in the bottom. You're the bottom team in 3-point shooting. Why not try something different for once? Just try it because shooting can't get any worse, and the turnovers can't get any worse. So you might as well just try and throw what you can at the wall and see if it sticks at this point, especially with that pick and roll option available. Hell with the screen and rolls. Nobody other than I would say Rui and Austin Reeves at this point is willing to screen on like every play, Gerald. So screw these screen and rolls. They're not working. At best, it's an average play for us. The pick and roll with LeBron and AD, go to it. It's a go-to.
Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do play tonight against the Houston Rockets. Come check out the game with us, playback.tv/Lakers fast break. Be awesome to join us. You'll join
Oh,
Sean. You'll
oh,
join Joe
and
Soro. He'll be there as well. Go ahead, my friend. And Laker Nick. Laker
yeah,
Nick.
and Gerald, like all due respect to Rodell, it's not as if like you think we think that Shingun is some kind of like secondary player. He's a very good he outplayed Sabonis this year. He's outplayed a lot of great centers. So it's not as if it's AD playing below his competition. Shingun is I would Gerald, would you say Shingun is a top 10 center in the NBA now?
Yes, wholeheartedly.
Okay,
Wholeheartedly.
then there you go. Then that's a good test. That's steel on steel. So yeah, he did miss the first game, but Shingun outplayed him last year. Rodell, if you watch that last game the Rockets played against the Lakers, don't tell me this. He gets up for him. So AD needs to turn around and get up for these guys because they're getting up for him. And Gerald,
And it has
let's
to be both halves because you pointed out in the Oklahoma City game, Chet Holmgren, he abused Chet Holmgren in that first half, and then all of a sudden just decided to, go away. And then the other game that the Lakers won, what, in Cleveland? Was that the game that he turned it up in the second half, but was kind of
yes,
invisible in the first half? It's
yes.
just we're always talking about halves with AD. We need complete games from AD, especially against talented rosters.
Yes, absolutely.
AD
And
did not miss the second Houston game. Rodell,
he did not. He fouled out of the Houston game. Hey,
huh?
come on, dude.
Come on,
Come on, come on.
I'll get it for
Anyway,
you.
yeah,
Go ahead, continue,
yeah,
my friend.
yeah. I was just gonna say, yeah, Gerald. And another thing tonight. I'd like to see somebody other than Cam Reddish step up at a point of attack defense. Other than him, especially
Well,
tonight.
Vando's going to be there tonight.
Hmm. So that's two. Hopefully, Gerald, this creates a synergistic effect because it kind of felt that's what Vando's place was in the starting lineup defensively. It was not just as a primary POA, it was also to provide a synergistic effect defensively, so everybody around him kind of either plays with the same intensity or to a similar level. Um, that's a good shot in the arm for the team. Championship teams need that. We got it with Alex Caruso during the last one. Previously, it was Ron Artest, and then uh, pre- um, preceded him was Trevor Ariza. So the Lakers, by design, need that point of attack defense, especially with a 39-year-old LeBron James.
He's talking about he's changing his phrasing because again, we're just reading off of literally what you say, Rodell. He's talking about the one Joe went off of on his epic rant of all epic
Oh,
rants.
last year?
Yes, in was it
Oh,
March? It was a
okay.
March. Was it
Is it
February
March?
10th or
I
March?
think was it
Yeah,
March
I
or
get.
February?
I actually sent it in that email like a couple few days ago
Okay.
to Rodell on that one so he could educate himself on.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
that was
okay. No, I'm
that's a
glad
different
Rodell.
story. That's the one without
Yeah,
AD and LeBron that Joe went off on his epic rant of all epic rants.
thanks for
March of, yes,
clarifying,
thank you.
Rodell. Thank
Yeah,
you, man.
thank you, High Octane. It was March of 2023. I
Yeah.
remember it because the secure hotel security, because I was on actually out hotel security came in. Everything all right, sir? Yeah, it's just Joe Soro. Yes, that's it.
Are you serious, Gerald?
Yeah, they were. I was editing the show, and he was. It was just blaring throughout the speakers on that. So yeah, there you go.
That's
But what?
hilarious.
But once again, it is the Lakers fast break. It is Magic Man Sean Grice with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching, listening. Rodell, you got to admit, and Magic Man, it's just an inconsistency with AD. I think that's why Joe Soro and Joe, let me know if you want to come on the air for this last half hour or last few minutes we're on the air because it looks like the Lakerholics, which had said they wanted us to come on early and be on here tonight, they're not here. So we're gonna have to send them. We're gonna have to do a special show for them tomorrow on the off days. So I will ask you this though, Joe, if you want to hop on, let me know because Joe was the major backer for AD last season, going into the season. He was saying, Gerald, stay on the AD train. I'm on the AD train. You
He
need to get
was.
on the AD train. And
Yes,
it took AD's inconsistency to really get him off that train.
it did.
And it's a mindset with AD. You don't know which AD, including in the playoffs. They ESPN and ABC always made a point to show you how inconsistent he was. They were showing the graphics as far as one game to the next game. Now it's to the point where it's one half to the next half. You don't know what you're going to get.
No, you don't.
Yeah, Joe, let me know if you want me to send you a line. I thought the Lakerholics were going to be here, but they decided to go ahead and ditch us for tomorrow. So,
So, Gerald, just gonna put this up for the audience. So, as we look to what's important for tonight's game, according to Cleaning the Glass here, Houston's best start five-man lineup is Fred Van Fleet, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith Jr., and Shangoon. So that is a very long, very lean lineup. Gerald, we saw last game that Dylan Brooks and Freddie Van Fleet were able to really show off their 3-point prowess. Houston didn't need them in the first game. Freddie and Dylan Brooks were quite quiet actually.
yeah.
So I think tonight, if at all possible, I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but they need to adjust with Freddie's screening, because he was able to lose whatever guard was on him, and it didn't matter whether it was D'Lo, whether it was Austin Reeves. I think Vincent played in one of those games. I think it might have been the first one. It didn't matter. He was just he was able to get free. You got to be able to be physical with Freddie. Freddie is a physical player. He likes to muck it up. So if you're just going to allow them to be free tonight, it's going to be a bad omen, because they're going to light it up again.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. The Lakers are on tonight at 7 p.m. Join us for the game. Playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Also here today, just popping in. I didn't invite him because I thought the Lakerholics was going on, and he doesn't want to be when all this whole bunch of people here, and I can't say I blame him. It is Joe Soro. Joe, thanks for being on. I want to ask you this, getting back to last night's show, because last night's show was a very divisive one. I still have comments I still have to catch up on, which I will be doing during the game. Again, Greggy, I'm appreciate you watching. I know you're on one side of the fence. I know that Douglas Gallagher, big shout out to you, Douglas. You're on another. Like last night, you and Sean were different sides of the fence on this. As someone who was, again, moderating and trying to go on as far as, see things from both perspectives, I appreciate, Joe, your thoughts on it. And so, again, it's a big issue. It's a touchy issue. People were calling it clickbaity and why did you do this? It got conversation. So whatever you think on it, Joe, that topic just got conversation, and that's what makes for a good program.
Well, I refuse to believe that we clickbaited anything. We don't clickbait here.
They were calling it the title.
We might have an attention subject line, but it still pertains to what we're talking about. To say that this is a clickbait, it's like saying, will LeBron play tomorrow? Something like that. That's a lie that no one said. Something that's not true.
Like a kernel of truth that has a lot of BS.
Or even more simple, you say something and not even talk about it during the broadcast. No, that's not what we do here, and we don't do that here. There was a response today and last night that I actually was surprised at reading after the show. People think I'm overreacting. Okay, guys, I'm gonna make this as simple as possible. I was taught to bring in real life stuff into sports so that everyone can identify with what I'm saying, with what you're saying. It's kind of like a comic who the comics do the same thing. They'll talk about a particular joke that people will relate to, becomes funnier because that's what people know, right? Like, hey, remember your wife? She does this. The second you sit down, she's asking you to go do something, like that kind of stuff, right? Well, in this case, I want you guys to be very, very clear here. I want you to understand something here. You think it's small now because you haven't really ever heard somebody say, hey, look, I'm going to not do what I'm supposed to do as a professional because I have a personal situation that I got to attend to that is not life-threatening. Life-threatening, common sense, guys. I get family issues, like people who are sick and you need to attend to them, things like that. So hear me out. But if you want to gallivant somewhere because you feel like, oh, well, I want to go see my so-and-so do something, and you're getting paid $47 million to play, and then you guys want the Lakers to play well and win championships, yet people are taking sabbaticals to go watch a college game because they have a sibling or a son or daughter or something like that. I mean, I want you guys to really think about that. What is that going to start? Now, you think that's where it's going to stop? You think that's that leadership that LeBron has? What do you think the other guys are going to do? Now, all of a sudden, you're going to find out that one of the guys has a niece that he's been taking care of because his brother or sister isn't well, and they want to go graduate from junior high. And then all of a sudden, well, I want, it means a lot to me to go to the junior high event. She's my niece. I'm taking care of her. And then you got this whole thing like in the draft where you got to watch a bunch of, every story is the same thing. He came from the sewer and he grew through the Trolls Bridge, and all of a sudden now he's been drafted. Like, it's like, at what point are we going to allow these kind of things to continue to fester until all of a sudden in a couple of years, especially if you've got somebody like Greg Popovich in charge, he's going to let one of his guys take a whole week off. Hey, you know what? Take a week off. Don't worry about it. You got to go fishing with your second cousin. Yeah. Your second cousin has mental problems because of he was in some kind of situation. Yeah. Go fishing with that person. You think that I'm exaggerating. I'm not. Because I can guarantee you this. There was a time when we didn't let load management be a problem. Missing a game here, missing a game there. When did that happen? Until that clown down in Texas start doing that stuff to save his guys, right? The same guy that bitches and whines when other teams do things. But when he does it, it's okay. Oh, it's okay. Oh, and you can't boo people all of a sudden, right? You can't boo anybody. You're paying $800 for these seats that are right there. You can't boo. That's not nice. Really? You see how it starts? You see how it goes? Why am I overreacting? I'm overreacting because that's what gets your attention. I'm not getting off air, hitting my head on the wall, okay? I'm reacting now while we're talking. When I'm off air, I dance, I prance. Sean just got a pick just 10 minutes ago. What was I doing, Sean?
You were enjoying life, Joe.
I was enjoying life, okay? Guys, I told you this before.
And then he came here.
As good as my life looks on here, it's actually better. So I'm reacting right now. And in some stuff, I'm going to react a little louder because you need to hear it. Stop with the BS. I already know what time it is. I already know how this stuff starts. I'm 45 years old. I've been around, okay? You let LeBron all of a sudden go and do things like that, everybody else is going to want to do it. And then all of a sudden, it's going to fester from the LA Lakers to the Clippers. And you know the Clippers, 100% this thing's going to happen. These guys wanted to get chicken wings and have skanks coming to their rooms during a freaking playoff run. You think they're not going to do it in December or January? Come on, folks. You got to wake up. You got to wake up. Now, there is a solution. And I've told you this solution before. You want to take days off? Turn in your money for that game so that they can spend it on someone that will cover your spot. Now, here's the problem there. Who the hell are you going to find to cover LeBron James? See how silent that is? Don't tell me I'm overreacting. Don't tell me I'm tripping. I'm not.
I just heard the Cape Fear music there when
I don't
Joe dropped that line.
If you honestly think I don't know what I'm talking about,
that was some Max Cady stuff right there.
And by the way, that's his best role ever, which is, it says a lot. It says a lot with that guy's career. But to me, that's my favorite Robert De Niro role. That role, when that ending when the boat was sinking. There's only a few guys on the planet that can do that.
You know what? I had always thought it was a Brian De Palma movie, and then I heard recently it was.
Martin Scorsese channeled Brian De Palma in that movie.
It just looks so Brian De Palma-ish.
So, and those guys are all
tilting
boys.
of the camera.
They're all boys.
Yeah,
I think he did. He might have helped them on that film. Actually,
they're friends. They are friends.
That whole crew: Scorsese, Spielberg, Lucas, De Palma.
Yeah.
Those guys.
He showed all them like the original. Lucas showed them all the original cut of Star Wars.
Great crew. Iconic crew of all iconic crews. That I don't think you'll ever have a group like that come out of the 70s. Like, it's just amazing how great those guys were and are. But yeah, so I'm glad you brought it up, Gerald. I was going to bring it up at the post game, hopefully after a win here. to kind of give it a little bit of some enthusiasm in and around that. But
it's
not
been so divisive. I actually, like I said, there's comments I haven't gotten to, which I will during the game, that are one way or the other. And I'm just going to say this, again, I can see both directions, Magic Man's side and your side. And you know what? I am a father too, but I also, what if you're a father that works so hard all year long for a family of four to get your family of four to one Lakers game a year,
Gerald,
and that's the one Lakers game.
Gerald, this already happened this year. This already happened when the Miami Dolphins were in Buffalo. Third string quarterback Skylar Thompson, was starting, and his dad. I forget what, Joe. You're gonna have to help me out. I think they lived like halfway across the country, but he drove.
Or what about remember the Jimmy Butler deal? Where he said he was
came
sick.
all the way from South America.
But took pictures with them afterwards when he heard that. Funny, thought he was sick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're sick, you're unavailable.
Yeah.
And
Otherwise,
when
he's
you're
infected all those kids.
when you're unavailable, that means you're not at the steakhouse down the street at Biscayne Bay trying to score some GQ poon.
It is South Beach.
It's South Beach. So I mean,
here's a retort to that too, because I did put this into consideration. There are times during a work situation where you're going to take sick days, right?
Yes.
Sick days and vacation.
Yes.
So just so you guys know,
if he's injured or has a knee injury.
Here's the problem, though, with that in this particular business. You cannot replace these guys. This is a performance-based business. Are you going to tell me, oh, we're going to replace Julia Roberts in her prime with Jill Smith, whoever that is, because she doesn't, we're going to pay her for this role and we're going to market it around her. And then we're going to put Jill Smith in there because Julia Roberts needs to go to a wedding. You can do that in a regular job for a weekend, let's say, right? You can't do that in a performance-based business. You can't replace Jimmy Butler. You can't replace LeBron James. Even when they do have it, and it's rightfully so, right? They want to have their vacation time. This is a different business. There is no such thing. And you guys all know, especially with these play-ins and the 8 seeds being what they are to the play-in, one game will make a difference, especially the way the NBA is now. So what happens then? What happens then?
Well,
those are all things that can be eliminated in terms of thought when you show up. And if you don't want to show up 82 times out of the year, then you need to start putting in things in the collective bargaining agreement that say, look, you want to go to Lake Havasu randomly for a week? You will need to forfeit that month's salary. Watch how fast they will say, yeah, I ain't going anywhere.
That'd be interesting, Joe. That you brought, oh man, see, this is what happens with this guy. He gets my big brain cooking. If that happened, you're going to forfeit the money into a pot, and we're going to put that pot into the in-season tournament, so all the guys can collect it. If you want to take a couple games off, sure, we'll just throw that money, and somebody else can have it. Watch.
They do it with the salary cap.
Watch how Joe's right. If they did something like that, watch how fast the 50 little sphincters that Joe talks about tightens up because you're trying to take away my money.
You reward teams. You reward teams for abiding to the cap. Whoever goes and stays under the cap or is on the cap or whatever it is, they reap the benefits of those who go over, and it's spread evenly, right? Those who go over and pay.
Not only that, you required me to floor.
So this becomes a cause and effect. This becomes incentive. We are in an incentive society. Incentive is democracy. Incentive is capitalism, however you want to look at it. And when you incentivize people to be great, to be productive, to play by the rules, guess what, folks? You're more apt to have people playing by the rules. and listening and learning and doing their best. If you just say, "Oh, well, we're just going to let everybody do the same thing," I mean, I can't believe I have to explain this. It makes me sick that I have to explain it like this. Everyone should know
again,
this.
it's what with Rodell, Doobie, they're saying it's just one game, Joe, but there are actually several games that could be affected if he wants to go
It's
to
not
more
just
than
one
games.
game, and that's the point. The point is that now
There
it's
are
one
several
game.
opportunities
Then all of a
for
sudden
him
you're going to
do
see
that.
another game, and then another game, and then it's going to spread like a disease. This other guy's going to want that one game, and then everybody on the team on the Lakers say, "Hey, you gave LeBron a day off." All of a sudden, all the other 11 want to do it, and it's gonna trickle down, guys. It's a copycat world. People like to copycat, especially in sports. So don't insult my intelligence. I know what this is. The second they took detention out of schools, a lot of these schools turned into garbage in terms of discipline. I had to move my kid out of a middle school because of that garbage, because they don't discipline anybody. One idiot, stupid parent sued the school because their kid was an idiot and got sent to detention. All of a sudden, now we got to change the rules for everybody. Screw you and screw that. No. People need to be disciplined, and people need to be held accountable for what they have agreed to do. You don't want to do this? Get the hell out. Or give up your money for that game, that week, or that month. I don't know, however you want to do it. It's not a discussion. This is not a debate. You can sit there until your face is blue. You're never going to win this argument because it's not an argument. It's facts and it's common sense. And that's something we're missing in all this, in a lot of things that we're doing. So again, stop insulting my intelligence and tell me this is not a big deal. It's a big deal because it's a start. It will start and it will turn into a forest fire. Trust me on this.
Doobie, they will not find him. Rodell, they will not find him. You and I both know they will not find him. So if you're on one side of the fence, I respect both these positions, Joe's and Magic Man's. But the Lakers will not, as a PR hit, they will not take the PR hit and find LeBron. If you were to go see a game and miss a of Bronny's and miss a Lakers game for it, and we'll just leave it at that. You know the Lakers are not. They're gonna just. You do what you want, LeBron. You do what you want. So
Yes.
that's something.
Yeah, it's at this point in time, Gerald, with you know,
They don't want the PR. They don't want the bad PR. Nothing good can come from it as far as the finding, as far as on their end, if they issued a fine.
no, not at all. And
Yeah.
considering the NBA is getting some really good pub right now, Gerald, especially with the uptick in the in-season tournament ratings and just the amount of storylines going on, they do not want this hot potato at all.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro, Magic Man Chungarice, and me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. The game is coming up here in just a few minutes. Why don't you come on over to playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break? That's playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. I will say that Laker Nick may stop by, Joe Soro, Magic Man, myself will be there as well. Go ahead and join us for the game right there. Absolutely. Playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Rodell says no, they will not find LeBron for missing a game or two. They want the stars to come in LA and look horrible. Plus, you would piss off LeBron, and God forbid you would want to piss off LeBron. So there you go.
Well, other than Diane Cannon, one of the OGs in terms of
still there on the sidelines.
Still there. I saw the celebrities that were there. It's third-rate celebrities now. The Denzels, the Andy Garcias, they're not there anymore.
They should sometimes. I have seen Denzel.
Yeah, because there was a mystique for, I'd say, from 1980 to about 2016. There was this mystique. The Kobe retirement was like the last. It was the last kind of year where you felt like when you were at an LA Laker game, it was almost like they were watching royalty. Now it's just a bunch of dukes and a bunch of Johnny come lately type guys that the celebrities. But then again, most of the celebrities.
I agree.
A lot of the celebrities have left LA, by the way. You know, they damaged the city with their they've damaged the city with their let's say their social discussions, yet they left. So they created the problem and then they left when it wasn't working for them. So you don't have those guys. And again, Jack Nicholson's was there once. Was it the beginning of the year? Or I'm sorry, last year.
No, he went to he showed up during the playoffs too.
Yes,
Joe.
but he's coming down now, guys. His time is about to
And
come.
by the way, before any of this goes any further, when that day happens, and it's gonna happen, his seat remains empty for a whole year. For a whole year, no one gets to sit in that seat. I think that's only right. With the way this team has kind of mistreated some of the most important historical figures, Gerald from Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, I think it'd be only befitting that that seat remain emptied when that day comes,
Or give it to Jerry West.
or give it to Jerry West.
That seat belongs. If Jerry Glanville can reserve a seat for Elvis all those years, you damn well
I
better
remember
give
that.
Jerry West a seat for what
I
that son of
oh
a gun
yeah,
has done
no,
for this
that's
franchise.
Joe. That's a sore subject when you deal with the Jerry West thing and the Jerry West thing and the PPP things. Those are those are irritants. Absolutely, just absolutely dumb things that were done by the organization. Absolutely dumb, and just yeah, very embarrassing. Those are PR hits that's going to leave a very
But
big
see,
stain
Joe,
on that
aren't
organization.
they inherited though as well, Gerald? Like I know Walter
Yeah.
Matthau gave his tickets to Denzel
Hmm.
Washington,
Yeah.
and I
You can leave it in the will as long as you're paying,
yes,
as long as you're good on those, you can put it in your will it to your kids, etc.,
That
etc.
was a hell of a baton pass, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
yeah,
sure.
man, it
I'm sure
really
the
was.
Lakers were like, sweet, getting Denzel to come here in his prime. Yeah, that would definitely work. Uh,
Okay.
I think that mystique needs to come back, but unfortunately, we need movie stars to come back.
Doobie, going to see your son and going to his first college game, I get that. I understand that, but the Lakers aren't going to ask him for the $500,000 or close to it. It's not 500. It's a little less than that. 400 plus $1,000. Wouldn't if you go ahead and check out the game, Joe's saying, okay, return the
I want to say something.
$400,000.
Yeah, I want to say something, Joe. I really appreciate a lot of you here. And again, guys, I take the good with the bad, and I don't really consider the bad bad most of the time. It's those who differ from my views are very respectful. They're just I'm not no ill will towards them. I don't feel like I've gotten anything negative really to the point where I feel defensive. No, but I do want to thank you all for understanding what I'm saying here. There's a lot of you here that you're commenting on
They're
what I
both
said,
sides. They're on both
and it
sides.
makes again, guys. This is about there's a mentality here, and we're talking about why the Lakers are in a predicament they're in now. This plays a part in it. It's a little part, and it seems like it doesn't get fixed. It almost people kind of are in denial and say, well, we're gonna leave this separate from this.
But NV213 says we're all tripping. That seems to be that's the third person that said we're all tripping.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, don't put a blanket over us all because not
Well,
all of us have shared that same opinion. Magic Man is different than Joe's opinion on this. So
if
let's
we're
get that
tripping,
clear. Don't say we're all tripping because you're putting this our audience. The one thing I fault our audience on is that they have a tendency to just put a blanket over us. That's not true. You shouldn't put a blanket over all of our opinions. All of our opinions are not alike on the same things. Magic Man's opinion was different than Joe's on this issue. So let's just say that. But NV213 is giving one of those general opinions on the other side, Joe. You're straight up tripping. We're not below 500 and it's only one game.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I really do. I hope I'm wrong a lot, guys. I really, really do. The problem is it's very rare. because I'm not thinking with my heart. The older I get, the more this takes over. It's just what it is. And unfortunately, this doesn't always point to the feel good stuff. Getting up in the morning at 5 and 6 in the morning and working out sucks. It sucks. I don't want to be working out at 5 in the morning, but I do it at least half the week because I don't have time later in the day. You do things and say things that don't feel good sometimes, but in the end, it's a necessity. So if I'm gonna try to put my own experience in this, because I never played in the NBA, I can't use that experience. The only thing I can do is I can say I've watched and I've analyzed and I've assessed as much as I can for 30 plus years of watching the game. And I'd like to think I have some credibility and I understand the game. If I had the athletic ability, I do believe I could play. I would have the mentality to play for sure, but physically I don't. But I've seen this enough to know, and I've seen human behavior enough to know what ends up happening in the long run when you continue to cater and make things easier for everyone. This is not supposed to be easy. This is supposed to be hard. Otherwise, everyone would do it.
All I'll say is this, okay? If it was me, I was in LeBron's shoes, being paid X amount, I may be a little bit different. I would go see my son play if it was first game, but I would do as Joe asked. I would either give 444,000, whatever it is, 400,000 plus, back to the Lakers, or if they were to ask, give it to a charitable donation like the Heart Foundation or something like that. It's a Heart Association or something. So whatever that the Lakers wanted me to do if I were to miss that game, because if it was his first game back, I can understand how important, especially after what he went through. I get it, but I wouldn't have my cake and eat it too. I think that's what Joe's saying. It's either this or that. Now, missing the game, he has a problem with, but if he's going to miss the game, at least return the money that you would have been paid for on that. So that's just, I think, what he's saying. Magic Man, you have something you wanted to show on the screen here?
Yeah, Gerald. Just before we head on out,
Yes, and
just
we'll
like
get back to the game right now against the
yeah,
Lakers and
just like
Rockets.
to point something out here. Although things could be a little smoother, as we all know, the fact of the matter is, Gerald, the half court offense has improved significantly. Like significantly. We are no longer crap, Gerald. We are in the middle. And
We're
a
in
little bit
so we moved up from crap to purgatory.
Yeah, we moved from crap to purgatory in the half court. Gerald, when you look at the top 5, 6, 7 teams there in the half court, what do they all have in common to you? So that'd be the Indiana Pacers, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Denver Nuggets, the Dallas Mavericks, and the Boston Celtics.
They all shoot well from the outside would be my first guess.
You'd be ding, 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 correct. So that would help immensely. Like even a tick up from where we are, which is crap from 3-point line, a tick up from crap is still crap. But we'd actually move up in the half court. We'd actually score above 100 in the half court. I mean, we're almost there. We're almost an average offense in the half court, Jared, with all the kerfuffle and all the smoke and mirrors with what's going on. To kind of, it's ho hum, but it's there. It's something to build on, especially if we could get healthy.
I can't say I blame you. So we'll see what happens. Any last thoughts? What do the Lakers need to do, Joe, to get it done tonight against the Rockets, a team that is not yet won on the road? I want to keep them winless with a win tonight against the Rockets, Joe.
Give a crap for 4 quarters.
I'd like to see that on as far as the keys to the game by Taco Bell. You know how Stu Lance has his keys to the game. Give a crap for 4 quarters.
Give a crap for 4 quarters, and I'm looking at you, Anthony Davis. You're due whooping some other bigs rear end right now. You've been getting worked here for a year, better part of a year. Getting tired of watching what, in my opinion, the best talented big in the league continue to get work by the top-notch guys like Jokic and Embiid, which, I'm not saying you can stop those guys. You can't stop great players, but at least give them back a little bit of the taste too. And that he doesn't do that. And then, of course, the second-tier centers like Sengun and Sabonis, those are guys are backing you down like you're not even there. Why can't you back them down like they're not there? They can't guard you. It's a mentality. It's a mentality. And it's not there for 4 quarters all the time. Just, it is what it is, folks. Just give a crap. It's
Matt, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we need to replace "give a hoot" with Joe's face.
Yeah,
give a crap.
It's not, and that's the thing with the whole discussion of, well, it's early or whatever. I go, it has nothing to do with it's early or the schedule's been difficult or they've played more back to backs.
You know who decided
Watch how they play.
You know who decided it was early too, Gerald? The Bengals and their fans. It's early. It's early. You had a calf injury in the preseason, but it's still early. It's still early.
Well, for what it's worth.
And then you had to crawl. You had to crawl back from that start you had, and then you get all the way back, and then fate just comes right in and smacks you right in the face.
Fate always smacks
and lets you know you're a Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, fate always smacks the Bengals because they're owned by the Brown family, and the Brown family are as good as the brown that comes out of your ass. These guys finally got a franchise QB who could trump that curse of a franchise, yet you don't protect them still. You still don't protect them. Protect your franchise that was one play likely away from winning a Super Bowl, but they don't do that. Mike Brown and that family is just a bunch of jugheads. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They've been running a football team purely because they've been fortunate enough to be in the NFL at the time where TV contracts went to a level that nothing will ever be at that level. They've been able to get free money, and that's really what they're good for. You want to see a franchise that runs things the right way, you go to Philadelphia. You go to the Steelers. You still, even though New England is struggling right now, you go to New England. These guys actually know how to run a football team. The Bengals, they'll always be the bungholes to me until they prove me otherwise. Even when they're winning, they're still chumps. So, guys, we don't want the Lakers to be the Bengals, okay?
No.
We want them to be.
What I'm saying.
Yeah. Make it work.
That's what
Give
I'm
a crap.
Saying. Joe knows
Give
what
a crap.
I'm talking about.
If there's something I know more than the Lakers, damn well better believe it's the AFC North.
But Sean, before we head on out, any last things we want to note? Because we'll get geared up and get ready. I actually already have the watch party on, so you can join us there anytime you want. Playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. I already have the feed up. About Sean, any last thoughts, my friend, before we head on out?
I would love to see a 15 to 20 point win, Gerald. But the fact of the matter is that no matter if they're on a slide, this is a much better Houston team. I don't expect them to come in here and get punked. And
they only lost by one. What, a little over a week ago?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago? Yeah.
So I expect a contested game. And again, I don't care how we win, but I want to see Anthony Davis outplaying Alperen Şengün. Şengün outplayed you last year. He outplayed you 9 days ago. Come on, Anthony, you can outplay this person. He's a very good player, but you're an all NBA player. You can outplay Alperen Şengün. And if you outplay Alperen Şengün tonight, the Lakers will win.
You know what the Lakers can do tonight with a win, Magic Man? They can get back into a virtual tie with the Kings and the Suns for first place in the Pacific Division.
Gerald, the Pacific Division has just cannibalized itself this week. It really has. The Kings and the Clippers beat the crap out of one another. And then the Warriors had to deal with the Kings. And now the Warriors and Clippers have been at it, and the Lakers and Suns are going at it again. This is turning into the most competitive division again in the NBA. All 5 teams made the playoffs last year in the Pacific Division. it wouldn't be a shock again if all 5 make it again, maybe in a different order this time, from the looks of things. But man, Gerald, it's going to be a dogfight all year long.
Etrelescent says, hope Reef shows up, Sean. Hope he does too. Thank you for watching on Facebook. Truly appreciate it.
I do too, my friend. I do too. Do not put him on. Do not try and put him on Freddie Van Fleet again, Darvin Ham, please. Let's not play this game again.
You want him on green?
I want him on green.
Okay. Green has been better lately, but he's still been inconsistent most of the season.
Absolutely. Okay. I'd rather live with Austin on green than on Freddie.
Okay. Absolutely. But yeah, exactly, Sean. Just in and out this year. I think that'll be the story of Green. I just don't think he'll ever find that consistent levels that they wanted, especially for how high he was picked in the draft. I don't think we'll ever see it from him. You'll get games where he scores 30, and then you'll see other games where it's just not there. He just does not shoot efficiently enough to sustain it for a high level for like a week-to-week basis.
Right. You know what, Gerald? At this point, I'm with you. I mean, he's not a bust. He's not a rotational player yet. He's not an all-star. He's a second contract at this point. Yeah. To be continued. I agree with Gerald. He fits into a very, very fine line between pretty good to borderline, not really an all-star, but close.
Above average player.
Above average.
Let's just put it that way.
That's fair enough. Above average.
Rodell says, don't let Brooks get 6 to 7 threes a game. He was shooting lights out last game. You know what? That's correct. Although he has been shooting well all season. How long will that continue? Because that's not his modus operandi as far as it's concerned.
No, not at all. I do expect him to be defended very physically tonight, Gerald. He really wasn't really touched last game. So yeah, good point by Rodell. I'd like to see Brooks get a little physical as well.
There you go, Rodell. We gave you a compliment. Don't ever tell us we don't give you flowers.
No, we do. We do. When you do good, we give you flowers, and when you don't, we're gonna pour the dirt on you. But
Joe, we are expected to get. This is something I want to touch on. You were actually in the chat, and I sent you with what Mike Trudell had said, or what was quoted by Darvin Ham has said about Rui Hachimura tonight, in regards to Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, and Cam Reddish all back in the lineup tonight. But it was Rui Hachimura. Darvin Ham said the team will be smart about when to reintegrate him into game action, considering he just had nasal surgery. When I read that, I was like, huh?
So is he going to play in 4 minutes as opposed to the limited minutes he gives him when he's healthy?
Exactly.
I used to
Jackson
watch.
Hayes is also available.
I actually used to watch Spectrum Sportsnet before and after the shows, especially after the wins. I don't watch them anymore. I can't listen to these people talk anymore, and that sucks too because I really like Allie Clifton. I can't listen to these. I can't listen to these people talk. They are so full of hot horse shit. It's painful to listen. I can't do it. They have no idea what the hell they're talking about, and that is exactly how I feel right there. The way when he was talking to Otter, and by the way, I have a friend that's just like Otter. Just like Otter, when we're drinking and we're feeling it and we're talking about something, we could be talking about, I don't know, cars, and all of a sudden he'll come out of nowhere 5 minutes later with, well, what about grass growing on trees? Like just something random. Like, what the are you talking about? We're talking about cars and engines. But with these guys, listening to cliche heavy nonsense. I would be able to handle the cliches if it meant if you can tell the difference between someone who's clicheing it to just get the media off them versus someone who doesn't know what the hell they're talking about and they're just regurgitating the normal garbage. And that's unfortunately who most of these guys are, especially the head coach.
Wow, that was trippy. I've actually got the playback feed on my other tab, and I turned it to check to see if anybody was there. All of a sudden, it's before the game, Magic Manager. They're testing the camera, so I just got this like hard zoom from all the way to from the back of the arena all the way right to the basket. Me like right in the and all, once it was like, whoa, my eyes just like adjusting back and forth. But it is, of course, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. You can join
Where the
us
hell are the
tonight.
Lakerholics?
They
Why didn't you
wanted to be
show
here.
up?
What the hell are they doing
They
that we
said they
aren't?
wanted to be here tonight and also come on tomorrow. So I don't know where those guys are. They sorry, I'm at my granddaughter's varsity basketball game. Tom
Mm.
said we were agreeing on 11 a.m.
Yeah, I wonder
I
what
thought
he's going to think about LeBron going to games that aren't his games.
Mia's team won the tournament championship, and she made the all tournament team. On to the Lakers. So there you go.
What's
Joe,
Jamie's excuse? Was he in Narnia all day?
Mm.
he hasn't even responded. I don't
Yeah,
know,
he's been in
Sean.
Narnia all day then. He's been in Narnia all day.
Yeah, but you guys, they were the ones that told me that. Okay, Gerald, because they were going to invite Michael Green on. As far as I guess their editor in chief. I don't know how that works, but yeah, they were going to get him on the show tonight. And yeah, go on the pregame.
My favorite words: if, should, would, maybe. If,
Doobie,
should, would, maybe.
yes,
I
could,
love
would,
those words. Please say them
maybe.
more. I love
Want to
those
go?
words.
Want to go with the starting lineup here?
Could have is another good one.
Cam
If,
Reddish,
if and
LeBron
but for
James.
candy and nuts.
So get this, guys: Cam Reddish, LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Everybody's favorite Torian Prince and D'Angelo Russell is your starting lineup for tonight. I don't.
Mm.
So even with Rui coming back and Vando, Torian Prince is still in the lineup.
Well, Gerald, I think this is just going to be a slow burn until he gets to the end of the bench. Unfortunately, we were hoping for a quicker hook rather than this, but it looks like it's going to be a slow either from Torian Prince starting to the end of the bench because the proof is in the pudding. We've seen the split so far. He is who he is.
L. Rob is having a great Lakers weekend. I do appreciate him being on earlier this week. I know a lot of people are, they that are channeling Joe. They didn't like him, Mr. Positive, but L. Rob is a great part of what we're doing. He's been here since the beginning, and I do welcome him coming on. And
Oh,
yes, even Laker Tom is Mr. Positive too. I like varying opinions on the show, so not everybody can think all the same way. So sorry, everyone, but you'll get your fill of Laker Tom tomorrow. How about that? How about that? Go ahead, Magic Man.
yeah, no, Gerald, I was just going to say just a NBA note, we're a family and want to shout out Luka Doncic. Congratulations on the birth of his first child. That's why he was
Yes.
absent from the Memphis game. Playing tonight admirably. I mean, the Mavericks are still getting hosed, but regardless, congratulations.
Better for us.
Absolutely.
So, Joe, do you have a problem with Luca going to the birth of his son and collecting his paycheck on top of it?
Ask Phil Jackson.
Okay.
Well, Gerald asked Chosoro.
I think Joe said his piece on it for the past 2 games. So,
The
or
birth
2
of the
days.
child, there's a little bit of validity there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know where the line with Joe was.
No, the birth of your child is different.
Okay.
Death, ailments, those are different situations.
Okay.
But,
Yeah,
but all of a sudden, just be careful, folks. Be careful. Soon it'll be that one game and at USC to watch my kid play. It's going to be.
Oh yeah, Kyrie
And all of a
wants,
sudden, it's travel baseball for a week. I'm telling you, you think it's not going to happen.
Kyrie wants to take a day off so he can be on a Zoom call, listening to a district attorney.
And didn't he try to do something like that?
Of a city he doesn't even live in anymore.
Didn't Kyrie do something like that?
Yes, he did.
See? And then they got on him right away, and it kind of, whoa. Yeah, be careful.
Okay, Tom, just before we edit out, Tom just texted me this. He said, thanks, because I wished him congratulations on his granddaughter winning the tournament and making the all-tournament team. When she was at the line taking 2 free throws in the fourth quarter and it was dead silent, guess who yells out pressure shots, Mia? Tom Wong. Laker Tom. Yes. He's that guy. Indeed.
Oh no, he is. He once got into a fist fight with another parent of a basketball player.
Oh man, reminds me of my soccer days when I had there was a fight between coaches and family members running from one side to the other and fighting in the middle of a field for a
Gerald,
third grader
like,
kids soccer game that I was.
You mean like from the X-Men?
From each side, okay.
Really? You mean from the X-Men animated series when
I was the
villains
coach,
and the heroes meet?
The head coach antagonized the other side to the point where family, either the coach, it was the coach. The coach went on from the other side, came over. He went over, and in the middle of the field, amongst all these 5-year-olds, they were brawling, and I had to sit here in the middle breaking it up with 5 other people.
Joe?
Yes.
If that was you, what would you do?
I said my piece, Christy. Sorry,
all right.
Christy. I meant Christy, not Christy.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, it's going to be a great game tonight. Please join us from work. We actually had a great conversation the other day with Nick. We went on and on about Hall & Oates. Actually, I'm going to find that footage. I'm going to see if he'll allow me to go and put that Pop Culture Cosmos, because that was really good stuff. There's a lot of great conversations, not just on the game. We go ahead and share our emotions, but we have a lot of great conversations at playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Doobie knows. Doobie stops by there all the time. Go ahead and join the rest of the crew there at playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. We're going to set up and prepare for the game tonight. Going to go ahead and get some food ready, get everything ready, get going for a great Saturday night at the Crypt as the Lakers face off against the Rockets. Magic Man a win tonight for the Lakers?
I think so, Gerald. I think it'll be a bit of a nail biter there in the fourth quarter, but I think eventually the Lakers will pull it out. So should be a win tonight for the Lakers.
Joe, you feel the same way? They play much better at home, the Lakers do.
TBA.
Such a
I'll
sign
figure
of
that out
confidence
later.
indeed. Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break. Join us here in about 10 minutes or, here in the next few minutes at playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Doobie says Lake Show by 27. So that's covering the spread. Hopefully that can get us closer and closer to having a point differential on the season closer to a positive.
And Gerald, just before we head on out, I know we have Inside Sports Fantasy next week. However, it is it's kind of the end of the day, Gerald. Who are your final 4 teams for the college football playoff?
Well, we already had the ups. I thought Georgia, default Georgia, and I thought Oregon. I thought that was going to come down to. So I'm already been wrong anyways. So for me, I think it's going to be it's Alabama and Washington. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'll say Washington. They beat the team I thought that could only, I thought that was going to be Georgia. So I know Alabama's such a weak pick as far as, Alabama. All right. Alabama's very talented. I'm going to go with Washington in the upset. Why not? Be a little different.
You're talking about
it would be ironic in the last year of the Pac-12.
If Florida State wins, there's a chance that Alabama and Georgia might not go in.
I'm gonna say in the last year. I'm gonna say that
Are they going to
life-
really hold an undefeated team out of the top 4?
They've already done that before. Don't give me that crap. They've already
Yeah.
done it
But
before.
Florida State, Washington,
Hey,
Michigan.
they're not gonna shut out Washington.
Joe, what's Florida State's best win this year?
Trust me, believe me, I'm with you on this. But are
LSU.
they're gonna have to keep. They're gonna. They're gonna have to keep. They're gonna have to keep Florida State out. Will they?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
they will.
All right.
Without Jordan Travis. And the
But
fact
they will not keep out Washington. And I think
No.
Washington will win it over a Michigan team.
they
just
have the
because
best
of the
Gerald, they have the best quarterback of the teams left.
But it's also
100%.
sheer
Washington,
irony.
Venus?
It's also the sheer
Penix,
irony
yeah.
in the last year the Pac-12 is in existence that they would win because they've not won a college football playoff. Have they?
No.
I just
No.
think it's funny that Washington's in the same time as Michigan. Last time they won a title, they shared it in '97.
Yeah.
Right. That's right, Joe. That's
I just
right.
think Washington, it's just too, the irony is just too there. I just think it's too there. So
I
just think
don't
it'll-
know, guys. It looks like Alabama's going to be 4.
Yeah.
I ain't betting against Nick Saban in Alabama. Sorry.
No, and that's a default pick, and I couldn't blame you, but I'm just gonna say life has its irony indeed. But once again, it is the Lakers fast break. If you want to go ahead and talk more college football, go ahead and head on over to playback.tv/Lakers fast break. We'll talk about that. Plus, we'll shout out the game. We'll talk about all the things that are going on there and everything that's going on with the game. Playback.tv/Lakers fast break, and then of course the best post game in town. We'll be here right after the game. Of course, the Lakers fast break. See you at playback, playback.tv/Lakers fast break.
You're not going to catch me on a hot mic. Come on.
Hot mic? What's a hot mic?
Are we still on?